Alright everybody, so here we are doing our first modification to the Infiniti, and I'm pretty excited, and I think that you guys will be too. And I think it's something that's a little bit unexpected, and that is these AMS lower downpipes. And I think these might be a little bit unexpected because it's like, oh, don't you want to do some mods to go faster? Maybe do an exhaust, get some wheels and tires, suspension, something like that. But no, first thing that I want to do to these is get some lower downpipes. I don't know how familiar you guys are with these Q60s. I've been learning so much recently about them. I've literally been looking up stuff about them all day, every day, trying to find out every single thing about them. But AMS seems like a really good company, and they're super reputable for building power on this platform, and it kind of seems like they low-key have a monopoly or something over it. So the parts are a little bit expensive, but it seems like they're worth it, and people who do buy these end up liking them a lot. And the reason that I decided to go with these lower downpipes first is after watching some exhaust clips, I don't think that these cars really sound that good with just a straight exhaust on it. So I believe there's a resonator in the middle. Of course, you got your muffler in the back, but then there's two cats up front here. There's an upper downpipe and a lower downpipe, and each one is catted. So by installing these lower downpipes, we're going to be getting rid of that lower cat, and it helps just like add some rumble to the car for whenever we get an exhaust. So I just think overall it's going to improve the sound of the car. It just didn't sound like throaty enough whenever people were putting exhausts on them. But then after they put a lower downpipe on it, it sounded so much more aggressive and just better overall. You know, like that, sometimes when people put like cheaper exhaust on cars, it kind of just sounds like a vacuum cleaner or something. Like it just sounds like restrictive or something. I think that is what these should help try to eliminate. So that's why I'm going with them first. Then we'll get an exhaust on this thing and it should sound so much better. It also seems like we get some gaskets with this thing, so hopefully we don't blow through these, because I know on the WRX I have blown through my fair share of gaskets, which means I should probably get some more high quality ones. So hopefully the ones that come with this are pretty high quality and they don't blow up after like a couple thousand miles. Before we start that though, because I hear it is a 3 to 4 hour job whenever you have the all-wheel drive model like I do, just because those front control arms get in the way. And I'll show you guys about everything that we have to take off. It seems pretty simple from what I've seen. It's just so tight of a working space, and all the bolts and nuts and stuff that you have to take off are kind of in pretty compromising places, which makes the install process just a little bit harder, makes it take a little bit longer to get everything done, but I'm hoping it doesn't take that long. We have just got the Infiniti jacked up, had to drive it up on some boards, got some jack stands under it, jacked it up by the front center point so that way we can get under there and hopefully reach everything. But the first thing that we have to do, this is going to be the cat that we're replacing, and back behind it over here, that is the side mount that holds it on there. So we got to take that off on both sides. Then we got to take these nuts out where it goes to the Y pipe, and then the rest are going to be up top. And this whole experience is making me realize that maybe I should get a lift. You know, after doing stuff on the WRX and now the Infiniti, these cars are just way too low to be jacking up like this. I mean, it took a while to jack it up because you got to drive it up on something. Then you got to be able to fit the jack under it, and my jack is not like a low profile jack or anything, so that takes a minute. So maybe I just don't have the right tools for this scenario. Shout out Nissan. Crawl up under here. If you see that brown connector right there, that is what we have to undo. So the reason that people hate doing these on the all-wheel drive models is this shaft right here. Okay, so we have gotten all of the nuts that we need to off the bottom of the car. So there's only 4 total nuts holding us back from being able to put these new AMS ones on. Now I tried to get a good video of where they are, but I seriously just can't illuminate it and have the camera focus that far down because of how far down the 2 nuts are. But if you go down here, you should be able to reach one from back here and one up here. There's 2 you have to take off on the top of the cat, and that's going to be for both of the sides to get that lower downpipe the whole way off. And I'm going to put a huge extension onto a socket, and you have to reach it down there so you can get it off. After running out to get a longer extension, hoping that this bad boy can solve our problems. So just got the factory lower downpipes out, and that's a pretty big cat it's got on there. Passenger side was definitely harder because on top you gotta take out 1 extra bolt, so it's just harder to get back in there. But the newer pipes, as you can see, are a lot skinnier, but I'm not super hopeful that it's gonna sound a lot different just because the exhaust is so restrictive on this car. But since I got both the pipes out, I can show you guys underneath since it's a lot more open. So now that everything's off, we can kind of see it a lot more. That brown connector at the top was the O2 sensor, and I did find that if you loosened everything up, at least on the all-wheel drive model, since this shaft is right here, it was a lot easier to pull the pipe down, so I had more room right here to put my arm up and disconnect that. And then these two bolts on top here were the ones you had to fish to the top to get, and that one on the bottom was easy to get from down here. Here's our hanger that it was on. And then right back here is where it goes to the wide pipe. I'm gonna install it the same way. I'm gonna hold it here and try and reach up and reconnect it to that O2 sensor. And then we can just try and bolt everything up from there. The driver's side was a lot easier because you see the O2 sensor is right at the bottom. And there's also only 2 bolts to get out. So that made it a lot easier to take out that side. So we're gonna start with the harder side first. And here we got our finished pipe ready to go in with the new O2 sensor. From what I've read, it shouldn't have a check engine light because most of the reading comes from the top O2 sensor, so we should be fine. Everything's all bolted up on the passenger side, tightened everything up top, tightened everything on the bottom here. And if we take a look at where it connects to the Y pipe down here, they actually give you a spacer if you're still running the stock exhaust, which I am for the time being. It helps the seal go better because the downpipe is 3 inches and my exhaust right now is 2.5. So they give you that you can use until you get a new exhaust. So it really only took like 20 minutes to pop that passenger side one in. So I'm not too scared about doing this one because this is actually the easier side. So I got the harder side out of the way and it was quicker than I expected. So this one should be pretty quick, and then we can do a little sound test. I'm really excited because these were some pretty beefy cats right here. All right, so the new lower downpipes are on, so we're gonna do a little bit of a cold start, see how it sounds. I feel like you can kind of hear, it's not super loud, but it's kind of like rumblier. Okay, so it is a little bit louder under full load. Not anything crazy, I would say. Maybe like 6 to 8 decibels or something. Like, it's really not that much more dramatically loud. It's obviously not really going to be that much faster because there's no tune or anything on it. So if anything, we gained like 2 horsepower. I feel like nothing else though has really changed. The turbos still sound the same. Like, you can't like hear them spool up or anything more. The exhaust is only slightly louder because that muffler is just so restrictive. I think it is a little bit louder from those exhaust clips. So I guess I can't complain too much about that. But I think if anything, this has just made it so now I have to get an exhaust. And then hopefully whenever we add that exhaust on, it'll help the car sound a lot better. I want this thing to be a little bit louder. It's a high trim sports car. We gotta make it sound sick. And also, a lot of these mods are needed anyway just to put more horsepower in the car once I get a tuner, so we're kind of just future-proofing for that. But I would say I'm pretty happy with how it turned out because it is a little bit louder. Like I said, gotta tell myself once the exhaust is on there, it's gonna sound so much better. And you do need the downpipes anyway as you move up to the stages from AMS. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As you can see, it didn't exactly turn out how I wanted it to, but we're future-proofing, guys. So if you guys are liking the content on the channel, you like the new Infiniti, you want to see what we're doing with it, make sure to subscribe, drop a like. I appreciate all you guys taking time out of your day to watch my videos in the first place. I know everyone's busy, everyone's got things to do, everyone's got mods to put on their car, but you take the time to watch my videos, so I appreciate it. This is where we're going to be leaving the Infiniti for now, though. Gonna have an exhaust coming on the way then, so that way it sounds better, and some more performance upgrades to hopefully work our way up to that 500 wheel horsepower goal. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.